Oh, Mrs. Ronson, you want to come out?
I know. Have a great day.
Well, my name is Gordon Hoodak. I'm principal at Lauer's Park Elementary School. And I have taught in the Reading School District since 1972. And I have been principal at Lauer's Park Elementary School since 1982. Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, Mr. Hoodak. And good morning, moms and dads. I thought I was really going to study something in the sciences. When I was there, I narrowed it down. I started to study go into physical therapy. You know, part of my requirement in that college was you had a student teach. I didn't want a student teach, but I had to do it. So you're up at Penn State, and they said, well, you know, where you want to go. And one of the places that people didn't want anybody to go was Reading, Pennsylvania. So I said, I don't mind student teaching in Reading. Okay. They said, well, there are a couple schools you really don't want to go to. Lauer's Park was one, and Southwest was the other. When I came and I started student teach, this was absolutely, not thinking about this. Well, I absolutely had the time of my life. And I was driving back to Penn State, and it was my last day. And I was like bawling like a baby. I thought, this is so much fun. I had such a good time with the kids and the families. I was offered 3 different jobs. I had Downingtown to pick from. Erie offered me a job, and Reading School District offered me the job. And I took the job in Reading.
Okay.
So I'm jumping around. I think I'm the happiest guy. And I've been the happiest guy for, this will be my 36th year. And a couple things we know, and again I say this every year, I know if moms and dads participate in their kids' education, kids are going to want to do well in school. You know, my parents really didn't know. I was the first one in my family to go to college, so they really didn't know what that was all about. So my dad really didn't care what I did. My mom, I was the last of 9 kids, so for her I was the baby leaving, and so going somewhere close to home she could see me more often. And my brother was home at the time from the military. He was a lifer in the Air Force, and he had come out, just retired from the military and came home from Vietnam. And he was in his 40s, and here I am, a 16-year-old at the time, applying to college. And we talked about what I want to do with my future. And he just said to me, he said, Gordon, he said, I've traveled the world, and it's a big world. He said, don't worry what your mom and dad want, because where we lived up in the coal regions, a very small town, and they like to keep everybody close to the vest and not let you really expand your horizons. And he said, it's a big world. He said, you go after it. And he said, you apply to Penn State. And so somehow, with my family's, I found out how to apply. And everybody else had applied back in the fall. I did not apply until the end of January. Within 2 weeks, I was accepted at Penn State. Being an urban educator is a very, very difficult job. Very difficult. You know, this is a large school, 820 kids. We've already had 400 kids this quarter moving out. So we're constantly changing the kids, the education, the families we're meeting. Kids are coming with tremendous challenges. Where I've had success is that I have never run away from Lauer's Park. You develop credibility with the community. You develop credibility with families, with the businesses. And I've always felt and how I did that is, I never felt I knew more than everybody else. I still don't know. I'm probably the dumbest person in this school. Because I try to take advantage of everything that is here in this community to help me do a good job and a better job for my kids and families. So I hope I never come across that I know everything. I hope I don't come across that I'm self-serving, that this is not about who I am, and it's about me and giving me more money or a better job or moving on to something. That's not, for me, I could not have a better job. So I sell the school by what I truly believe. Do my kids have challenges? Yeah, they do. They have a lot of challenges, but they're great kids.
I had the privilege of walking around and kind of asking some teachers. Name one more time.
Is Brittany. I am the speech pathologist here.
I'm Bernadette Norton. I am the guidance counselor here at Lauer's Park.
My name is Sherry Gunderson. I'm the instructional facilitator here at Lauer's Park.
Just what the work environment was like here. Give us the feel, or I guess for people who haven't been to the school, what is the staff like? Let's say if I wanted to apply here.
The staff is amazing.
I love the atmosphere of the school, for the teachers, the parents, the students. It's a family. We support each other. We enjoy spending time together. When we have in-services, we have lunch.
I have to work with the staff, especially with all the kids that they have and that I have. And they're always so friendly. They're always open to make time for me if I need to ask them questions. With IEPs, I need their input. They get them back to me like that. And they're just always a good face to walk into on, when you're having a bad day. It's like, oh, hi, Brittany, how are you?
What's going on in your personal life or with your class? Somebody has a problem. We're always there to help each other out, and that's part of the beauty of being part of Lauer's Park that I don't know is felt in other schools.
They feel that it is somewhat of a family here. How do you get such a good environment here, first of all? And maybe some other things you had to overcome to do what you have done here.
What I've tried to do is build respect. I respect moms and dads. When I deal with moms and dads, I never try to boss them around. I'm not the boss. I'm going to ask mom and dad, this is what we got to deal with your kid. How do we want to help your kid? So I've tried to build that. And then I've been able to sell community about what we tried. I try not to take advantage of them. You try to live within your means. I don't just, take people's money. I don't believe in that. I believe in trying to solve my own issues here.
Right.
And so the school is structured in such a way that no other school in Reading is structured this way. The environment's not the same. The way I use my staff is not the same. But I'm not burned out. We get the results. Our kids do well. Our attendance is great. Our PVAS data is great. Our PSSA data is as good as anybody in this city. Everything I do, I don't just ask somebody. I always have a plan. So even my teachers say, now what is he up to?
The better question is, what haven't you guys done here? Because
Mr. Hoodak always has something else.
you're the third person to tell me that too, and I believe it.
We never know.
I move them around. I don't let them stay in the same grade level too long. I don't want them to feel too comfortable. I want them to be challenged. When I move you around, you have to study more, you have to work more, you have to think. You get smarter as an educator. If I leave you on a grade level for 35 years, you're probably not a good teacher at the end of 35 years. I take advantage of the staff's strengths. I try not to put them in a position to lose. And I'm also tough that if you're not a good teacher, you don't stay here. And my staff knows that. I just try to run the place just by honesty.
The city of Reading is a big but small city, if that makes sense. There's a lot of people here, but we're very condensed. And me personally, one thing I don't like is when people have bad things to say about our city, or the expression that some people get when you go outside of the city and you say, I'm from Reading, your face cringes. I guess the question is, what words of encouragement could you say possibly to some kids from here who might see this interview one day? Anyone else in the city of Reading or outside of it who might have a negative outlook?
I guess the environment here. I wanted to create a model urban environment for education. So when you walk the hallways, everything is related to curriculum, no matter where you go. It's not just you paint a color to paint a color. It's either related to art curriculum, science, math, social studies, career education. It's teaching kids how to run a business. You know, it's everything you need in life. Because I hear those same things where I live, or when people that I know outside the city. It's like, I don't want to come across the Penn Street Bridge. That's not a good place. And it's absolutely crazy talk. Everything is perception. Like today, you've been here. And you're going to leave this school. You're going to leave this school with a perception. And again, I get a lot of visitors. And we take them on the tour and we do things.
We have an indoor beehive, and then outside we have an outdoor beehive. You see the yellow box? Yeah, that's the outdoor. We go outside.
Okay. Yeah.
We are in the greenhouse where we have students who will plant plants, which they have now. We have geraniums coming up now, where the students will use this in our marketing club to sell for Easter and for Mother's Day. Over here, if you see the blocks standing up,
Oh, it goes like around the
there's
park.
2 of them, a half a mile and a quarter of a mile,
Oh,
for the kids to walk at recess and to
Right.
basically to fit in the gym and the good eating and healthy habits. Our ABC garden, which is our primary garden. This garden is for our younger kids. There are number lines, learning their letters, learning their numbers. Everything in here is hands-on. We have 2 ponds. It's a really, really nice, quiet area to be, but it also has wonderful waterfall sounds, which unfortunately right now are turned off. This
What's
is a
your-
green roof.
why is it green? Because it's color green?
No, on the top, there's plants growing.
What?
You'll see it when you back up.
Great.
See it?
Look at that.
Yep. ABCs, and they're patterning along the wall.
I'm just gonna ask you on camera for like the 3 or 4 or 5 people that had you back in 5th grade.
Who had
Guys,
me? Oh my
yeah.
gosh, don't do that to me.
Miss G, the reason she was so mean is because she had to, guys. She had to be strict. Otherwise, you would have never learned.
That's why I have my gray hair.
There you go.
Now.
We brought that out for her.
You did. You did. Oh my gosh. I'm not good with names anymore. That's been 23 years.
Quite some time.
So I had Neftali, I had Monica, I had Kimberly, who now has a daughter here. I'll think of more. I can't right now. Multiple handicap garden, because so they too can be a part of it. So they bring their wheelchairs right out here, and they get their hands right in the dirt, and can be a part of it like everybody else. So this is where they come.
Are you going?
They're coming in, first of all, they're thinking, oh, this is a city school. So city school is going to have maybe graffiti, it's going to maybe be dirty, the environment's going to be dull, maybe you're going to see some kids acting up in hallways, you're not going to see good instruction. Well, when people visit this school, the majority of them will leave and say to me, I've never seen a school like this.
Out here, I want to show you is the human sundial garden and the solar oven.
No.
Yep. And then this is a solar oven, which they use for science classes to teach the kids how the sun rays and energy can help you cook food. We usually make popcorn or eggs or bread.
So what, I stand on this spot here?
You stand right there. Just turn around. You stand there, you turn around, and you see that we're not getting any of the sun rays right now. But if you would stick your hands out, usually the reflection would give you the month of the year. And he is too, obviously.
I'm a kid at heart.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
And this is our college can be a reality area. If you look up upon the thing, there's all the universities.
Oh.
Letting our kids know that college is definitely reality for them, can happen, and we help them get there. And we're just out here to let the kids know that anything they can do is possible.
You're great on camera. Let me tell you.
Yeah, right.
You're a natural.
We're gonna go over here.
I already
You already spoke with Brittany?
Yeah.
Brittany, you already beat me to the camera?
I did, I'm sorry.
Wow.
My only regret that I have is that I could not have had this school the way it is now 36 years ago. Because the way the school runs now is what I had hoped it would be.
Could someone possibly do me a favor and open the ball field for just a few minutes for our photographer? Thank you, we're outside. Okay, there you go, go ahead.
Then, one other thing I was curious about, I was in 5th grade when it was being built, but Hoodak Stadium, it's very impressive. I read somewhere it has a price tag of, I think, $1 million or something. What made you even think about such a thing and just to get it built?
Lauer's Park had a history of baseball. Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Lou Gehrig, they played here. I mean, some of the biggest stars ever in baseball played at this stadium. Within about a year, I get a call from Chuck Domino and said, boy, they knew I wanted to do something with the ball field. They wanted to talk to me about it. So we put a committee together from people from all over the county, and we were gonna build a small ball field. We got the price tag just to put a couple benches in and a dirt infield was like $75,000. The committee looked at it and said, wow, if it's gonna cost us $75,000 to $100,000, why don't we go after this? And there are all these different levels of giving. And it went anywhere from $100 for a brick, $5,000 for plaques, to $25,000 to get signs and signage at the stadium. And then there was naming rights. And the naming rights, and we thought it would be a big bank. That, just like they named Citizens Bank. And that we'd go after a big company. And to name it was $200,000. Al Bosco was right in our corner. I was always down at Al Bosco's helping us get ideas on how to market this thing. Chuck calls me and he says, Gordon, we got our first bite. I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, the khaki place down here. They made the first offer. They bought a sign for $25,000. I come in my office that Monday morning, about maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30. I get a call from Chuck. He said, Gordon, you got to sit down. Somebody just bought naming rights to the stadium for $200,000. And it's an anonymous donor, but the condition is the stadium has to be named after you. Again, I'm not the one that put my name up there.
Wow.
And he said, that is the condition. I never wanted it. I could have cared less, but we got $200,000. During that same time, I had applied for a grant from Senator O'Pake, because he had called me and told me how he thought I could get some money to move to Chiller. So through the Department of Education, that grant came through, and about a week after that for $100,000.
Wow.
So all of a sudden we had $325,000. Within the first month, we had our $500,000. 500, 700. All said and done, it's pretty close to $1 million when we're all done. That's how it happened. People just donated the signage, and the thing just rolled.
The baseball field, which is called Lauer's Park's Gordon Hoodak Stadium, is an exact replica, mini, of the Reading Phillies Stadium, down to the sound system.
Wow.
And wouldn't be able to be done without the Olivets Boys and Girls Club help out a lot, and they play softball and baseball games here. And the Reading Phillies also have contributed a lot, and we owe them a lot for doing this, and all of our donors.
And they did it because of the message we sold about the kids and about the community. I'm sure people gave because they knew Lauer's Park. Many of them knew me, I'm sure, but it was never about me. It was about how do we put a ball field back there that we can be proud of, that people from Wyomissing and Wilson can come in and play and it's maybe the nicest ball field in Berks County. Okay, you can be proud of that. Again, that's part of the image. That's part of coming across that bridge. Yeah, we got good stuff here in the city too, you know, and that was part of what we did. So that's how that ball field came about.
What would you tell, but just a message to your kids here at Lauer's Park, either now or past or in the future, something you can tell them?
Okay, my next set of quotes. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. And finally, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So, you know, Lauer's Park is about dreams. You know, your dreams can come true. You have to want something. You know, you have to believe you're special. My job is to help you think you're special.